I'm a retired police officer from New Jersey, and in my 20 years on the force, the most disturbing call I ever got was during a middle school lockdown. It was a rainy, stormy afternoon when I was dispatched to the back parking lot of the school. A suspicious white van had been reported, and a man was seen slipping in through a side door. When I got there, the van was empty, all the doors locked. The school was completely dark inside, lights cut, students huddled silently in classrooms. I moved through the empty hallways with my flashlight, every sound amplified by the silence. I made it to the boys' locker room. As soon as I stepped in, I heard it, faint, scratching sounds coming from the far side of the lockers. I should have announced myself, but something about the sound made me stop. Then, slam! A locker door banged shut from inside the football team's changing room. I rushed in, shouting, "Police!" That's when I heard a boy screaming for help. I followed the muffled cries until I found him, trapped inside a locker, pounding desperately on the metal. By the time backup arrived and we got him out, the man and his van were gone. The boy had cuts on his arms and said the man was holding a knife, trying to force him outside. A week later, the same van was spotted in a convenience store parking lot. The man was arrested. But even now, the memory of that locker room and those scratching sounds still makes my blood run cold. Last year, I traveled to New Jersey for a college tour. I stayed at a Hampton Inn by myself, since my family couldn't come. After a long day, I returned to my room around 8 p.m., planning to relax before another day on campus. About an hour later, a blaring alarm went off in my room. A white light started flashing from the corner of the ceiling. Then a robotic voice played over the speaker.
Attention guests. Please remain in your rooms. This is a lockdown.
I'd never heard of a hotel lockdown before. At first, I thought it was some weird drill. The alarm eventually stopped, but the flashing light continued every 20 seconds. Around 9:30, my phone rang. It was the front desk. I picked up, expecting them to explain what was happening, but the woman on the other end didn't sound calm. She said, in a very low, serious voice,
"Sir, you need to leave your room right now. There's somebody in there with you."
I froze, then dropped the phone. My first instinct was to check. Under the bed, in the bathroom, nothing. Then I noticed the closet door next to the bathroom. It was one of those wooden sliding doors, open just a tiny crack. Through that sliver of space, I saw a face staring back at me. Before it registered, the door slid completely shut. That was all I needed. I bolted out into the hallway and ran straight to the lobby. Security showed me footage later. A man wandering the halls, using a stolen keycard to open doors. He had slipped into my room nearly an hour earlier and had been waiting silently in that closet the entire time. I was 17, a senior in high school. It was one of those late fall afternoons when the sun set early and the hallways felt darker than usual. My last class of the day was photography, which, for some reason, was held in the basement of the school. The basement wasn't very big. 2 classrooms, a tiny supply closet, and a single bathroom. Most kids avoided it because the ceilings were low and the lighting was terrible. Personally, I kind of liked it. It felt isolated from the chaos of the upper floors. That day, we were halfway through class when an announcement came over the intercom.
Lockdown. This is not a drill.
But down in the basement, the intercom was so faint that only our teacher caught it. He whispered for us to stay quiet and turn off the lights. The class fell into silence. 10 minutes passed, then 20. Then the teacher stepped into the hallway to check, but never came back. That's when I heard the bathroom door creak open down the hall. At first, I thought maybe it was him, but the sound that followed made my stomach drop. Heavy, uneven breathing. The footsteps grew louder, then stopped right outside our classroom. The doorknob rattled. Whoever was out there started whispering something I couldn't make out. Nobody in the room moved a muscle. The knob twisted harder, and the door shook against the frame. Just when I thought it was about to burst open, the sound stopped. We waited, frozen, until the bathroom door slammed again. That's when the principal's voice finally came on the loudspeaker, announcing the lockdown was over. To this day, no one ever explained who was down there with us, or what happened to our teacher in those 20 minutes. Lockdowns are meant to keep us safe, but as these stories show, sometimes the real terror isn't outside. It's already inside.